Is the Shroud of Turin a genuine relic of Jesus Christ, or a masterful forgery? For centuries, this question has captivated historians, theologians, and scientists. Let's explore the scientific evidence that may hold the key to this mystery. Welcome. In this video, we're looking into one of the most fascinating and controversial artifacts in religious history, the Shroud of Turin. This linen cloth shows the faint image of a man who appears to have been crucified. Some believe it's the actual burial cloth of Jesus Christ. Others think it's a clever medieval hoax. To understand the truth, we need to look at where the shroud came from, what it looks like, and what science has revealed. Whether you believe in miracles or not, this story is worth hearing. The shroud is a large linen cloth, about 14 feet long and 3.5 feet wide. On it is a detailed image of a man's body front and back, with marks that line up with the crucifixion wounds described in the Bible, pierced hands and feet, a wounded side, and bloodstains around the head. The face appears peaceful, despite the signs of torture. There are blood marks at the wrists, feet, and forehead. There are also scourge marks on the back, indicating a whipping before death, consistent with Roman practices of crucifixion. The first known record of the shroud dates back to the 1300s in France, where a knight named Geoffroy de Charny displayed it in a church. That has led many scholars to think it's a medieval creation. But some believe it existed long before then, possibly passed down through secret channels or lost to history until it resurfaced in Europe. There are even ancient documents and artistic depictions from earlier centuries that some researchers claim may refer to the shroud or a cloth like it. The mystery deepened in 1898 when an Italian photographer named Secondo Pia took a picture of the shroud. When he developed the photo, the negative revealed an incredibly detailed, lifelike image of a man. This sparked huge interest. How could a photonegative style image exist before the invention of photography? Suddenly, the shroud wasn't just a religious object, it became a scientific puzzle. Since then, scientists have been trying to figure out exactly how the image was made and how old the cloth really is. Some tests support the idea that it's a medieval object. Others suggest it might be much older than we think. The shroud has undergone dozens of examinations, using techniques ranging from microscopy to infrared imaging, X-rays, ultraviolet fluorescence, and even 3D modeling. One of the biggest moments in the study of the shroud came in 1988, when carbon dating was done by labs in Oxford, Zurich, and Arizona. They tested small pieces of the cloth and concluded that it was made between the years 1260 and 1390, long after Jesus' time. That seemed to settle the debate. But not everyone accepted the results. Some researchers pointed out that the sample may have come from a corner of the cloth that was repaired during the Middle Ages. If the tested fabric was added later, it wouldn't reflect the age of the original cloth. Others noted that contamination over centuries, fires, water, handling, even bacteria, could have skewed the results. In short, while the carbon dating is an important clue, it may not be the final answer. In fact, several peer-reviewed studies have been published arguing that the 1988 results are not reliable because of the poor sampling strategy and the possibility of invisible reweaving. One of the most unusual things about the shroud is how the image was created. When scientists studied the cloth under microscopes, they found no paint, no pigment, and no brush strokes. The image is formed by a change in the color of the top few fibers of the linen. There's no evidence that anyone used a substance to create it. The coloration is so thin that it's less than the width of a human hair. Some researchers have suggested that the image might have been made by a burst of radiation or some unknown energy source. Others think it could be a natural chemical reaction between a human body, burial spices, and the linen. These theories are still speculative, but they highlight how unusual the image formation is. To this day, no artist has been able to replicate the image using the materials and techniques known from medieval times. What's also interesting is that the image has 3D properties. When it's analyzed using computer software, it reveals depth, something ordinary paintings or photographs don't do. The brightness of the image corresponds to the distance from the body to the cloth, which suggests that the image was formed by some type of projection or emanation. But there's more. Blood tests show that the stains on the cloth are real human blood, and it's type AB. That's the same blood type found on another relic believed to be linked to Jesus, the Sudarium of Oviedo, which many believe covered Jesus' face after he died. Both relics share similarities in blood stains and patterns, leading some to suggest they once belonged to the same burial. Pollen grains and dust have also been found on the shroud. Some of the pollen is from plants that grow only in and around Jerusalem. Scientists have even discovered traces of limestone dust that match the rock found in tombs near Jerusalem. These findings don't prove the cloth is from Jesus' tomb, but they suggest that it may have passed through that region, or been stored there at some point in history. Still, many scientists are not convinced. They argue that the shroud first appeared in France in the 1300s, and that's too late for it to be the burial cloth of Jesus. They also point out that medieval artists could have used techniques to create convincing religious images. The lack of documentation before the 14th century remains a significant challenge for those who claim the shroud is authentic. Some skeptics have tried to recreate the image using paint, heat, and even sculptures pressed into cloth. While some of these attempts come close, none have been able to match the specific qualities of the shroud, its 3D effect, its negative image, and the way the discoloration is limited to the top layer of fibers. Others argue that the image on the shroud looks more like European art from the Middle Ages than it does a real person from ancient Judea. Supporters of the shroud say it's too detailed and too realistic to have been made with the tools available at the time. Despite all the tests and theories, no one has been able to explain exactly how the image was made. As technology improves, new methods are being used to study the cloth. High-resolution scans, digital analysis, and even DNA tests are being considered. Some researchers believe artificial intelligence could help solve the mystery. Others are calling for new carbon dating, using better methods and cleaner samples. The Catholic Church does not officially claim that the shroud is the burial cloth of Jesus, but it does allow it to be studied and displayed. Millions of people believe the shroud is a holy relic, while others see it as an incredible artifact, whether it's real or not. So what can we say for sure? The shroud is a unique piece of cloth with an image of a crucified man. It contains real human blood. It has properties that no one has fully explained. It's been tested by some of the world's top scientists, and yet, we still don't know exactly what it is or how it was made. Whether it's a relic of Christ, a medieval masterpiece, or something else entirely, the Shroud of Turin continues to fascinate people across the globe. It challenges our understanding of history, faith, science, and mystery. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Not just what it is, but what it represents. The search for truth, the connection between science and belief, and the wonder of the unknown. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. What do you think? Is the Shroud of Turin a miracle, or just a mystery? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next video.